Welcome back everybody to another World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition video. My name as always is Maxwell, and I realised something today, that it's been almost a week since I brought you a World of Tanks Xbox 360 video, so I'm just going to get cracking and bring you one today. Not particularly fantastic games, but they're pretty good games, and it's going to give me a chance to talk to you about some of the tactics, some of the decisions, and just talk about general things as the games unfold. So this first one's going to be in the VK3601H. You've noticed that still using it as stock. Well, I think it's got the upgraded engine, upgraded tracks, but I haven't gone ahead and upgraded the turret or the gun, and that's just because the Cornish that it gets here is just a far superior weapon, excuse me, to the 88. It having a much higher penetration rate of fire and damage per minute, so decided to stick with this one. I'm probably going to keep it all the way through and probably never go ahead and upgrade that one, just because I think that the 88 on this is a bit bad, just with its 132 penetration compared to the Cornish, which has 167, I think it is. So yeah, I'm going to be doing my usual tactic on the mines if it's an encounter battle and I'm top tier, which is get to the hill as quickly as possible. And I'm definitely going to be needed on this hill. As you can see, none of our tanks have gone to the cap circle, and the enemy is commencing a base capture. Got plenty of time, so I'm not in any rush really. I'd prefer to get into a good position rather than rush it. As you see, we're still only up on 30-some% here. And spot out the Panzer III-4. Now, if there was a lot more tanks and it was a lot higher cap percentage, then what you want to do is try and hit one tank each time, because each tank builds up its own personal base capture points, and each one has to be reset individually. But because there isn't really that much risk, I just decide to work that Panzer III-4 down and get him killed before moving on, and that's nicely delayed the base capture enough for two of our tank destroyers to get in here, and they're going to go ahead and assault that guy over there. Now, I think he's hiding behind this little wooden house here, so I have a shot at it, and then I suddenly realise he's actually behind the building up there, but luckily I get some track damage on him, which keeps him pinned down. He's a 3601 as well. You see, I got a good bit of luck there, setting him on fire. It looks like he hasn't got a fire extinguisher, so that's a good chunk of damage, and I'm able to take him out as well. And then that is the base capture pretty much dealt with. You can see the enemy 3001 here has the 88, so we have to be careful of him. But he takes off. Spot out the artillery, but I just make a complete pig's ear of trying to get an angle on him, but luckily my ally there is able to take him out, so I'm just waiting for this 3001 to pop back out. We're winning pretty convincingly at the moment. We've killed 8, they've only killed 1 of ours, and those 2 tank destroyers that went to fend off the attack on the base capture with me have now gone in and decided to do their own capture. To be honest, what I do here is I abandon that flank, not because I don't want to attack the 3001 anymore, but because I kinda, in the back of my mind, I'm hoping that the 3001 grows a set of balls and goes and tries to decap, and then that'll prolong the game a little bit longer and allow me to get some more damage onto people. But realise that he's probably not going to do that, as he's only just started to make a move now. So I just think, well, there's nobody on the other flank I can get damage on, so I'm going to come across and just see if I can at least get some damage on this guy before the game ends, which I am. So this one is going to end via base cap, which is a little bit of a shame, because we had this one in the bag, really. Although we lost a few tanks at the end there, still definitely had this one in the bag. There was no need to capture the base, unfortunately, but these things happen. That's what happens, and that is the victory. So let's take a look at the score screen and see how we actually did in that game. Going to be a decent amount of XP there, and a decent amount of silver. No amazing rewards there. Detected 4, destroyed 2. Did a decent amount of damage, as you can see. Came second in XP, top in damage. So pretty good game there, if I do say so myself. Enemy team having a pretty bad one there. You can see a lot of them doing 0 damage. So we're going to move on now. The next one is a standard battle on Westfield. And I'm going to be using the Panzer 5-4, which is the Tier 5 Premium. Got to be careful in a Tier 6 match. In a Tier 6 match, you've got the armor and hit points to deal with most things that are going to get thrown against you. The only problem you have is the gun. It has that Tier 5 gun, although it is top Tier 5, if you know what I mean. It's the last gun you can buy on the Panzer 4, which means it does perform pretty well, especially because you're not going to meet any massive juggernauts at Tier 6. Apart from maybe the Churchill Mark 7. But, so you're still going to be able to do work with it. You've just got to be careful. So, I'm going to be heading off to this area here using the speed that this tank has. You're going to see later that it is a bit of a speed demon. There's a lot of people try to focus on the town, not realizing that it's really the buildings here. Not the buildings, the terrain here, which is going to decide whether you win or lose most of the time. Because if nobody comes up here to defend this point, then the enemy team can just sweep through there. As you see with that 3601 that swept through here earlier, was trying to get to the hill that is directly behind me now, and if he'd managed to get there, then he would have been in an advanced position. He's probably played this map a few times and never seen anybody come this far north, so probably assumed that that move was going to be successful. But like I said, if you put yourself here, then you're pretty much just able to block off the enemy completely and counter them. So this M4's got his derp cannon, so there's going to be no way I can bounce his shots. What I can do though is just make sure he doesn't penetrate. If he penetrates, he's going to do some serious damage, and thankfully I've got a much better reload than him, and that Panzer 38 NA is nothing really to worry about. I have a little bit of an early shot there because I assume he's going to drive a little bit further forward, so you need to be careful with your prediction shots, your leading shots. I'm just going to keep an eye on him here in case he pokes himself out and try and get some hits on this AT-8. It seems not very many people know where the weak spot is on this. I take a shot from the bushes, so I decide just to fall back. Let that Jagdpanzer 4 take some of the punishment. Panzer 38 NA is playing a smart game. He's not staying out in the open for too long. So we're going to go down and try and work down this AT-8. I bounced a couple of times on his weak spot here, so not having very much luck with it here. Do spot the Panzer 3-4 in the distance. I have a shot at him, but again, I rushed it a little bit too much, and now he's able to back away. Someone's able to set the AT-8 on fire finally, so now it's a case of I'm going to try and flank around the side of this light tank, the Panzer 38 NA, or really just take on this this other medium head on. Because I mean, I've still got 560 odd hit points, which is still pretty much full hit points for a normal Tier 5. Spot out, it's a 3601. I don't have any gun depression, because it's the Panzer 4 turret mounted on a Panther body, and I take a good chunk of damage from this 3601, but still able to take him out just because of the sheer amount of hit points that this tank has. So I'm a little bit sour that I missed that Panzer 3-4 earlier, and I think that's him there, so I'm going to go make a move and try and get to him. Now this is where I pretty much derp out. I mean, I look at the scoreboard, I realise that we're winning 10 kills to 4. The enemy only has 5 tanks left, soon to be 4. There we go. Now it's 4. Thought I could get a shot on that guy, but not able to. So I'm just going to go charge him down as he's making a run for the valley. But yeah, like I said, I kind of derp out a little bit here. We've got 11 kills. They've got 4. I find this 3601 here. I see, well, they've only got 4 tanks left. After he's dead, it's only going to be 3. This one is all but 1. It'll be over in a few seconds. So I think to myself, well, I'm going to go for the glory. I'm not just going to stop and shoot him. I'm going to shoot him in the ass, and then I'm going to ram him for the kill. Not realising, well, I say not realising, I didn't really care if it destroyed me, to be honest, which it did. But like I said, they only had 3 tanks left, and we're closing in on their cap circle, so I pretty much just assumed that this game was absolutely over and would be over in sort of 30 seconds or so. But as you can tell by the length of the video, it's definitely not going to be over in 30 seconds. The 3 guys that are left on the enemy team, that Churchill and the 2 tank destroyers, are going to do some serious surviving right about now. And I mean, it's at this point when I realise it's been the 30 seconds that I thought it was going to be, and the enemy team's not dead yet. Well, that Churchill 1 goes down, but then these 2 tank destroyers just sort of bunker down. And they've taken out a good few of our allies here, as you can see. We're down to 6 tanks. So it's around about this point I think to myself, oh dear God, I wish I hadn't rammed that guy in the ass and stayed alive. Because I probably could have done some serious work here. I picked up 4 kills by that point, so figured that I possibly could have gotten myself a Top Gun medal. Especially because I would have been down in the valley and I would have been able to flank around the sides of these tank destroyers, which I'm pretty sure are going to be pointing up the ridge towards all of our guys. See here, this Stug 3. So pretty much I would have been in the same position as this Stug 3, so I would have been hitting that AT-8 from the sides. So I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that I went for that ram, especially now that they've taken out another one of our tanks, so we're down to 5v2, and I'm starting to get a little bit antsy here. I mean, I don't think these 2 tank destroyers would have been able to stand up to it, but I really did think that this was going to be over a hell of a lot longer ago. That AT-8 now turns around to try and take out this Stug. But he gets himself eliminated. So now it's just the Jagdpanzer. And really at this point, it is definitely a foregone conclusion. We've got this Matilda here going for a base capture just in case. And there is the Jagdpanzer camping off in the distance. This thing's got nowhere near the armor that the AT-8 has. So going to be able to just work him down. But it was a good defense that those last 3 guys put up. They took our guys down from sort of 6 or 7 tanks down to 5. So good job by them, but it wasn't enough in the end. And I was just having a bit of fun in this game, which is why I rammed that VK in the rear to take him out. So let's take a look at the score screen. Again, this is a premium tank, so it does earn more credits and XP than regular tanks. Actually, I'm not 100% sure about the XP, but definitely more credits. As you see there, 3,000 XP and 45,000 credits. Kamikaze medal for destroying a higher tier enemy vehicle by ramming it, so I'm happy about that at least. Got the coveted Kamikaze medal. As you see, did alright on there. Destroyed 4, detected 2, and the round I came, I think, 2nd on XP. Not great on damage, but 2nd on XP, just for the work that I did on that northern flank. So, that's going to be it for this episode of World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like or favourite, and stick a comment in the comment section below letting me know exactly what you thought. Those of you who are waiting for a video about the M3 Lee, don't worry, I am getting to it. Just the M3 Lee is a bit difficult to make a guide for, as long as the guide doesn't just consist of hate your life and don't drive forward too much. Trying to put a little bit more thought into it than that. So, yeah, let me know exactly what you thought, and if you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, because there's going to be a lot more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition, and I will catch you guys next time.